we start a new year here on Oklahoma Gardening, we want to bring you a new feature each week, and that's gardening for children. And starting off this week, we're here at Emily Bode's house in Stillwater, and Emily's helping me make some decorations for the birds. A lot of you may have a Christmas tree that's left over from the holidays, and we don't want you to be tempted to put it out on the curb for the garbage men. Better yet, get your kids involved in redecorating your Christmas tree for the birds. Well, today we're making all sorts of goodies to put on the tree to help feed the birds, get Emily interested in looking out in the garden and seeing what's going on. Right here, we've sliced up some apples, and Emily spread them with peanut butter, and then she's going to stick some raisins on there. And we're going to put this in among the branches on the tree, and that'll help feed the birds because they like to eat fruits and nuts and berries. So peanut butter and raisins and apples are great for the birds. Some other things that we're going to decorate our tree with are here on the tray. One of them is just simply popcorn strung on a cotton string. That gives birds some extra nutrition, and it helps give the tree more of a decorated look. We've also taken some pine cones and put them on a string and a hook, and you can stuff these with peanut butter and birdseed, and the peanut butter will help the birdseed stick to them, or you can use a mixture of suet and cornmeal stuck in among the pine cones. Now if you don't have pine cones, you can make what we call bird cupcakes, and it's a real easy recipe. All you do is melt down some beef suet. You can get that from your butcher. It's usually free at the grocery store. Melt down, take a cup of liquid beef suet, a cup of peanut butter, and mix those together. Then just throw in 4 cups of cornmeal and a cup of birdseed or raisins or any chunky nut or fruit type materials that you want the birds to eat. You end up with a mixture that looks like this. And all you do is just spoon that into cupcakes, little cupcake holders like this, and you press it in there firmly. And if you stick that in the freezer for about 15 minutes, you end up with a hardened suet product that you can put a hole through and string in the tree for the birds to eat. Real quick and easy, and it's a great way to get kids out in the garden and get them interested early in the year. Well, Emily, let's go outside and take some of these out and redecorate your tree and see if we can attract some birds to the garden, okay? When you finish melting your suet, you'll also find that you have some pieces of unrendered fat left over. You can just stick those in a pine cone and hang them on the tree, and they'll also feed the birds. They can enjoy those too. While Emily and her mother Margie are finishing decorating the tree, I want to give you a few tips on gardening projects with kids. Remember that little children have a really short attention span, so make it simple projects. Also, be prepared for a mess. Do things where you can spread out, and it doesn't matter if you drop some things on the floor. Also, have everything ready ahead of time before you involve the kids in the project so it's not too involved for them. Make sure you have your camera ready, and if you find that with little kids around you don't have much time for gardening, if you get them involved in the garden doing something, you can maybe do big people chores at the same time. Remember to be patient, because their first time in the garden, they may pull up all your petunias and leave the weeds in place, but they'll still have fun doing it, and that's the important part about getting them involved in gardening. And last of all, local libraries and bookstores are starting to carry more and more books on getting your kids involved in gardening. You can follow along in those and watch us every week on Oklahoma Gardening and spend this year getting your kids out in the garden. Well, I'm going to finish helping Emily and her mom decorate this Christmas tree for the birds.